Hello, welcome to Sports Central, brought to you through Spectrum Television this beautiful morning. Happy New Month to you through Spectrum Television this beautiful morning. Happy New Month to you and welcome to the very first edition of Sports Central in the month of February. But a whole lot of talk edition of Sports Central in the month of February. But a whole lot to talk about this particular morning, of course, as events unfold over the course of the weekend from the world of tennis, where we had two winners across the WTA and the ATP scene. That's the Australian Open, the first Grand Slam of the year, reaching its crescendo over the course of the weekend. We'll take a look at who won and who lost, and what these, of course, would possibly happen in other WTA and ATP competitions and even the Grand Slam event in this particular year. We'll also look at other conversations in the world of table tennis and the world of football as regards some of the latest happenings, especially right here on the continent of Africa. Well, the January transfer window, was slammed shut officially just on Saturday night. Who were the biggest movers? You get to know on the show. But today we'll be doing it quite differently, bringing you up to speed with big development, making rounds in the exciting world of sports. I am Mutabe David, and I'm super delighted to return back once again on your screens. Let's quickly, of course, bring you up to speed with big development, making rounds in the world of sports. Welcome to the show. Well, we'll begin the conversation from the WTA scene, where Elena Rybakina inflicted further Grand Slam final heartbreak on world #1 Arina Sabalenka with a dramatic third set fight back to win her first Australian Open title. The Kazakh fifth seed Rybakina was 3-0 down in the final set, with Sabalenka looking set for a fifth major singles trophy. However, Rybakina won 5 successive games before completing a 6-4, 4-6, 6-4 victory to avenge her loss, the two-time winner Sabalenka in the 2023 final. This was US Open champion Sabalenka's third defeat in her past 4 major finals, following disappointing losses in last year's Australian Open and French Open showpiece. In a meeting between two of the biggest hitters on the women's tour, Rybakina neutralized Sabalenka's trademark power with clean ball striking and clutch serving before digging deep in the deciding set. Rybakina is undoubtedly the WTA Tour, boasting more wins than anyone else since the end of Wimbledon last year and losing just once in her past 21 matches. Away from that to the ATP scene, where Carlos Alcaraz won a pool-setting Australian Open final to become the youngest man to complete a career Grand Slam, ending Novak Djokovic's latest attempt to land a 25th major title in the process. The 22-year-old immediately collapsed on the court in celebration after clinching a 2-6, 6-2, 6-3, 7-5 victory in Melbourne. Despite his disappointment, Djokovic showed his sportsmanship by clambering over the net and warmly congratulated Alcaraz on creating a slice of history. However, the Zep great, we all know he may never have another better opportunity to underline his place as the greatest player. The Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon and US Open, and the first since Djokovic in 2016. Straight now to table tennis conversation, where for the first time in the history of the table tennis, Libya's second largest city, Benghazi, will welcome Africa's finest players from February 7 to 9 as they battle for coveted tickets to the 2026 ITTF World Cup in Macau, China. The iconic Al Nassr Sports Club will bring together elite athletes from across the continent to the North African country in pursuit of podium finish and passage to the global arena. Semi-finalists in both the men's and women's. President of ITTF Africa, Washid Oshodi, praised the Libyan Table Tennis Federation for its commitment to staging the tournament. Now to the world of football. South Africa has announced its readiness to host the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations following Morocco's reported withdrawal from the tournament just 2 months before the scheduled kickoff. The 2026 WAFCON is due to take place from March 17 to 3, 2026, under a compressed calendar that follows the delayed 2024 edition. That tournament was affected by global scheduling challenges, including the Paralympic Games. South Africa's Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Peace Mabe, confirmed the development on Sunday evening, revealing that the country had agreed to take over hosting responsibilities at short notice. Speaking at the Super League Awards ceremony in Johannesburg, Mabe said the handover had been concluded, leaving South Africa with a limited preparation window for Africa's flagship women's football competition. The tournament also serves as a qualification pathway for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. The 2026 WAFCON was originally scheduled to feature an expanded 16-team format, though it remains unclear whether the tournament dates or structure will be adjusted following the change in hosts. The upcoming edition carries added importance, with the 4 semi-finalists earning automatic qualification for the 2027 Women's World Cup. The remaining African qualification spots will be decided through inter-confederation playoffs involving the losing quarterfinalists. Still talking football, Atletico Madrid announced a deal to sign Ademola Lookman. Atletico Madrid said they have reached a deal with Serie A team Atalanta to sign Nigerian forward Ademola Lookman. Lookman is already in Madrid to sign his contract, the Spanish club said yesterday. Lookman is set to undergo his medical today. The 28-year-old played for Fulham and Leicester before joining Atalanta in 2022. He also previously played for RB Leipzig and Everton. Lookman scored 3 goals for Nigeria in the Africa Cup of Nations, where his team finished third after losing to Morocco in a shootout in the semi-finals. Atletico are third in La Liga, 9 points behind second-place Real Madrid and 10 points behind leaders Barcelona after 22 matches. Diego Simeone's side faces Club Brugge in the UEFA Champions League playoffs later this month. And that's all we have for you at this time. Of course, do ensure to follow us on all socials. And by tomorrow, we'll return with more conversations in the exciting world of sports.